So, you're here because you're either completely new to this game, or you're a chronic bottom scorer who has finally made the decision to stop complaining in chat and start getting better at this game. Very well. If you're watching this video as a completely new player and have not done the in-game tutorial yet that is offered when you first join, I very much recommend you do so, as this tutorial assumes that you know the basics that are taught to you in-game. Now, this guide will be covering basics not covered in the tutorial, general tips, and recommended loadouts / weapons for newer players, so if you're looking for something to play, then you can skip towards the end. Without further ado, get that crusty binder out of your backpack and start taking notes, because what I'm about to say is about to change your life.
No mana. No mana. You have no mana, bitch. You have no mana! Get the f—
AP, short for action points, is a meter that is used for certain actions, such as abilities or certain duration or meter-based weapons. AP will recharge naturally, and will regenerate faster the longer it is out of use. Mana, its counterpart, functions exactly the same, with the same mechanics regarding its recharge rate. However, both bars have different interactions with different mechanics in the game, and are both used for different purposes. Since they are individually recharging, you could expend AP, but also be regenerating mana at the same time, as long as you are not using both bars at once. Overhealth is a mechanic that allows people to gain health that is over their usual maximum health limit, acting as a form of temporary health. Visually, you can tell if you have overhealth or not if you have a green visual on your health bar. Notice in this clip, my max health fluctuates despite the natural max of this weapon being 300. Overhealth can be gained in many ways through healers, certain abilities, weapons, and also when a team is winning by a significant margin, every so often a player, most likely the top scoring player, will be assigned a crown. Crown players will be given lots of temporary overhealth that decays quickly, and they are visible through walls, invisibility, and everything else that would normally obscure people. If you and your team can take out a crown player, your entire team has the opportunity to get overhealth and a massive boost in points, meaning that prioritizing people who are crowned should be a top priority, as it can easily turn a losing game into a winning one. However, if you are crowned yourself, try your best to stick with your team and maximize your own survivability. Be sure to look out for abilities that are altered by weapons. These alterations are usually changes to certain abilities caused by weapons that may upgrade or change how a certain move is used, indicated by a blue circle next to the icon. These altered abilities are often specifically made to synergize with their respective weapons, so most of the time it will be in your best interest to make loadouts including them. As of January 2026, these are all of the altered abilities and the respective weapons that alter said abilities. The category that a weapon is inside has implications for how the weapon actually interacts with abilities. For weapons that include the melee tag, which includes the entire melee category, and other miscellaneous weapons with melee functionality such as tempo or warden's axe, these weapons, as a result of having said melee tag, have bonuses such as dashes with lower cooldowns. Now, as you can see in this clip here, Link's sword has a dash cooldown of 3 seconds, and a rejuve dash cooldown of 5 seconds, while Burst Rifle here has a dash cooldown of 4 seconds, and a rejuve dash of 6 seconds. Another bonus that melees have, and also supports, is that they also bolster 2 Icarus charges. So as you can see here, this katana has 2 Icarus charges, and this top hat here also has 2 Icarus charges. However, ranged weapons only have 1 Icarus charge. Support weapons also have the benefit of being able to charge up their support remixes much faster. And what I mean by support remixes are remixes that are contained within the support subcategory of the equip menu or the shop. So if you're playing a support weapon, you're going to be able to charge up alts like Divine Veil or Artemis Bow much faster, whereas if you're on a non-support weapon, it's going to take much longer to charge up those ultimates. Playing with your team is incredibly important due to how strong supports tend to be in this game, but also just because of how fast one can get shredded if they're the focus of multiple opponents. Remember to use the spawning system of this game to your advantage and spawn with your teammates, and be sure to stay around them. Obviously, this can differ depending on what kind of playstyle you'd like, so if you're playing a flanker or an assassin type build, then you can deviate from your team a little bit more, but as a good rule of thumb, you should always be sticking near your team. Although this kind of sounds like a given, one thing you should do to boost your survivability by a lot is just to move unpredictably as possible. Use your mobility abilities and climb a lot in order to stay unpredictable and harder to hit. This takes a lot of practice, however, one thing you should really just start doing is start to climb more in your gameplay, as it just provides a completely new axis of movement that you normally don't have. If you're feeling really frustrated about the game, I recommend you pop off for the day or take a break, or maybe even hop servers if it's localized to that server. A lot of people in this game have played this game for a really long time, and due to its small player base, you're going to see people recurringly top frag or stomp servers. You're not going to learn or get better by playing in a lobby where you're angry, or you're not having fun, or you're just constantly getting bodied every lobby. I believe that one of the best ways to learn about weapons that you are frustrated about, or constantly dying to or confused about, is just to play them and read them. Now, the main reason why I want you to play these weapons that frustrate you is because you'll get a better sense of how these weapons work, what their game plan is, and how they move, and overall, when you switch back to your main weapon again against that weapon that frustrated you, now that you know how it plays, now that you know its interactions with other weapons, then you'll be much more well equipped in order to face that weapon in the future. Most importantly, you want to experiment. Making new loadouts that cater to your playstyle, or just making funny builds for the sake of it, is the spirit of this game. Like, this game is so much more enjoyable when you're playing a loadout that fits just right for you, and not some regurgitated double dash bullshit. Unless you're like me and you actually like that double dash regurgitated bullshit, then you can play it, right? But just enjoy yourself. Play something that really speaks to you, you know? Now on that note, I'll suggest some good weapons to try out if you're new and you just want to learn the game. I'm not going to give explicit loadouts, but just ability suggestions along with these weapons. I'm not bothered enough to make an outro, so this will be it. Subscribe.